What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and we just got a brand new Stellar Dynasty hero in Gemstone Legends. It is legendary hero ASTERION. So of course I'm going to do a full breakdown and summons. Alright, so ASTERION is a legendary attacker mage, and like all Stellar Dynasty heroes, one of the things that makes him good is you can match any gemstone to help charge his mana. Taking a look at some of the base stats here, some of the things that stick out to me are, first of all, because he's an attacker mage, his attack stat is really high. Even for Stellar Dynasty heroes. The other stats are like average for Stellar Dynasty heroes, but Stellar Dynasty heroes are among the best in the game. So all the stats are excellent compared to pretty much every other hero in the game. That includes the HP, that includes the defense, the speed is good. The mana gain is 15, and that's lower, of course, because you can match any gemstone. So it's one of the ways they try to balance this out a little bit. One of the things that makes him unique, however, is that he's a crit damage leader in the arena, and that's not a typical leader ability we see. Now, if you have watched my videos before, you know that I favor speed more than anything. Almost all the time I'm using a speed leader, and I think everybody's probably doing that. Most people should be doing that, but of all the other leader abilities, I do think that an increased crit damage one is one to heavily consider, because you can nullify your opponent if you just get rid of them, and there's nothing better than that in the game, of course. So this only works in the arena, but it's something to consider. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that because it does synergize well with some of these other abilities we see. Reality Annihilator is the active skill here. If he is the active leader in the battle, 100% chance to inflict Bored Jester on a single enemy for 3 turns. Remember, Bored Jester means that that enemy can match gemstones 1 fewer time. So you're essentially slowing them down. And I've mentioned this in other videos too, but de facto slowing your opponent down is increasing your own speed. The more you can take more turns, go first, that kind of stuff, the more likely you are to win. So that does help by having a leader ability that's not a speed leader ability and being able to make it kind of like a speed leader ability. Now that's just one opponent, but as we're going to see, it's not the only thing that helps out here. 100% chance to inflict decreased resistance on all enemies for 5 turns. It deals damage to a single enemy 7,500% of accuracy, and also we get another accuracy boost here too. Deals damage to all enemies based on that accuracy. So it's not just a nuke type hero in that it's dealing damage to everybody, but also really hitting one enemy hard. And I do like those heroes that do that, because you are working on one particular opponent if there's a dangerous hero you're trying to get rid of, but you're also progressing your goal of getting rid of the whole team at the same time. So I do like that. So some of the things I really like about this skill are, of course, slowing your opponent down, decreasing the resistance, which is incentivizing you to bring other heroes along that are going to benefit from that, and having high accuracy here, which does, of course, help with making sure that Bored Jester and the decreased resistance to inflict decreased resistance, that's all increasing the chance that those are actually going to land and stick. There is one problem here that you at least have to consider. It doesn't have to be a problem, but just when you're thinking about the equipment you're going to put on a hero like this, speed is always a stat I'm looking for, whether it's taking advantage of that speed or not. You want to go first and you want to go more. So like you're going to want speed, but you're also going to make sure that you want crit damage. And when you want higher crit damage, you also need higher crit rate, because there's no point in increasing the crit damage unless you have 100% crit rate to make sure that those hits actually land and cause the damage. So now we've got 3 abilities we're trying to make sure our equipment has, and on top of that, we need to make sure the accuracy is high. So there's a lot of abilities you have to consider on the equipment. That doesn't mean this isn't going to work. It just means like this hero is not going to be great unless you can make sure that you get that good mix of equipment that's going to allow that to happen. Now let's take a look at the passive skill. He deals 50% more damage with his special ability during his turn. He increases his accuracy by 5% for every negative status affecting all enemies. So again, incentivizing you to bring other heroes along that are making sure that they're going to be putting negative status on the opponents. And it's helping to increase the accuracy for more damage too. Here's something that really helps in this case, and that's granting 25% crit rate and ignore defense to all allies for mage, ranger, warrior, and assassin classes. So there you get the crit rate increase that you're looking for, so that you don't necessarily need to bring the crit rate on equipment to 100%. You just need to get it to 75%. So it makes it just a little bit more flexible in finding the equipment that's actually going to work here. And of course, that's if he's the active leader of the battle. Mana gain increased by 40%. Do note that that's if the skill is maxed. If it's not maxed, if you're starting out at 60%, and that's the sort of like ability they use here to balance it out. Otherwise, these heroes would be way overpowered if they were allowed to just match any gemstones they wanted to and get the full mana increase off it. They have to balance it out by decreasing that mana rate a little bit here. That's with all the Stellar Dynasty heroes though. So what do I think? I think it's a really interesting hero. Definitely one I want to play around with as a leader, surprisingly enough, that's not a speed leader. One thing I didn't talk about in this video is like what other heroes are going to be a good mix for him. There's so many heroes in this game right now. There's a lot to choose from. I want to know what you think, so let me know in the comments what heroes you're going to pair with him if you got him and you're testing him out. Of course, I'm curious about that, as pretty much everybody else is, I'm sure. So please let everyone else know what your testing is like. And if you enjoy videos like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. And I will catch you in the next one.